Well, hey everybody, welcome to this Nomadic Idea show where we discuss the uncensored truth about full-time life on the road. Whether you are in an RV, schoolie, van, it makes no difference. This show is for you. We discuss the topics that are important to this nomadic lifestyle. My name is Scott with Ariane from this Nomadic Idea, and we stream the show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel. You can always catch the audio version on thisnomadicidea.com on Mondays, or on Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, any of your favorite podcatchers that you listen to the audio for. So this is our 26th show, Boondocking Bust for 2022. Are we looking at the fall of some of our favorite boondocking spots? Well, one of them dramatically just changed. Our free spots, BLM, is that all coming to an end? We share the truth about how one of Arizona's favorite free boondocking spots just got changed and parts of it closed. This was all of the YouTubers said, you need to go here. They put GPS coordinates out there, and everyone flocked over, and now they're closing it. So we're going to tell you the details, how one YouTube channel got it completely wrong. We're here. We're in Arizona, and we're going to tell you the truth about why that happened. Plus a very frank discussion on how reservations are changing. There's big news coming in for our national parks. We're going to share that, specifically Yellowstone National Park. Some of the bigger ones are changing their reservation system, and you guys need to know. Lastly, are you looking for a summer job this year? Are you a nomad? Are you a van? Do you have a small RV? If you fit in one of those categories, no big fifth wheels, no big gigantic Class A's, but if you have a smaller rig, we may be able to help you with a summer gig that pays pretty good, and it's 4 miles southwest of Yellowstone National Park. So stay tuned. Here we go.
This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
Shall we begin? Let's begin. Shall we begin?
By the way, you can join our Facebook group, This Nomadic Idea. Please come out and hang out with us. We're starting to really pick up a lot of activity there. We talk a lot about different topics. It's a private group, so come on in and ask for a membership. We give you the scoop on meetups, caravans, what's going on. You can listen to the audio podcast early before everybody else does. Solar, composting, toilets, we talk about it all. We also want to welcome a new partner to the show. Very excited about these guys. Escape Camper Vans. You don't need to own a camper van and invest all this money in a camper van if you just want to try out the nomadic lifestyle first. You can rent one on your next road trip or adventure, or the next planned road trip adventure. Escape Camper Vans inspire people to escape their everyday routines and embrace their adventure spirit by exploring the world in their camper vans. They've been around for 15 years. They started in New Zealand. They got 15 years of experience in the industry. They're very proud. They have looked at tens of thousands of happy campers from all over the globe. We see them all the time here around the Sedona area, because they have a place in Phoenix that you can rent. These things are really nice. I've seen them. I've gotten a tour of them. They're really cool. And yet they're very affordable to do a road trip. So if you're thinking about this lifestyle, this is a good way to rent a camper van and see if that lifestyle is for you. You can check them out. If you go to episode 26 on thisnomadicidea.com, that post, go ahead and click the banner and go check them out. Go do some research on your own. So I wanted to get this out today because this is just kind of hot off the press a little bit. Well, to some other people, it's hot off the press. So Ariane and myself, we've known about it for a year because we spent so much time in Sedona, Arizona. Now, my dad lives in Cottonwood. So one of the reasons why, I've been here, and as you know, because I've had a tow vehicle issue. By the way, you want to check out Thursday's video because we have a full explanation of what happened with the van and what's going to happen and moving forward. So I'm putting that together now. That's going to be out Thursday. But we're out here. I've been coming out here off and on for probably about 25 years. I used to go out to the big boondocking area in Sedona. Everyone knows it's called 525, 525C. Man, I've been going back there for a long time. I remember there was nobody out there. And when you went out there usually to do hiking and some backpacking. And of course, you got the Indian ruins way back there. Well, last year when we were out there, we'd been out there for a minute, and we got to know Ranger Mike very well. Ranger Mike is a local. He is one of the lead rangers here in the Coconino National Forest that is part of Flagstaff that comes all the way down the mountain, really, down into Sedona. Now, let me set the stage here for people that are listening to the audio and for people that are watching our video that have no idea what I'm talking about. There's an area of the Coconino National Forest between Sedona, Arizona, and Cottonwood, Arizona. It borders 89A, okay? And comes around into Cottonwood. There's a big patch of national forest there. Now, it borders because there's a big canyon in the middle of it, and that's the Sycamore Canyon. And if you want to cross, and you can't do it in an RV, you can't do it, probably couldn't even do it in a van, you probably need an ATV, but then you can go on the other side by around Tuzacoot and Clarkdale, and on the southern part of the Sycamore Canyon. That's all BLM land. That's all BLM land. There's 3 different forest agencies that manage that. That's the Coconino National Forest, but it's also the Red Rock Ranger District, and on the other side is the Prescott National Forest. Prescott National Forest. So you have 3 different agencies managing all that, and people are crisscrossing all the time. So why is that important? Well, for years and years and years, people have gotten the word that this is free BLM land. People have gone out there, and it's gotten very popular probably over the last, I'd say 6 to 7 years for sure. We've been back there where we couldn't believe how many people were back there. I mean, it's crazy. The other thing that's going on in that particular area and how everyone has said, oh, it's free, come on out and enjoy. Well, they did. And we predicted this in one of our earlier podcasts that it's changing, people. It's all changing. Well, last year when we were out there, we had a long discussion with Ranger Mike, and he sat in our camp for 2 hours. And he told us what was going to happen. But I'm going to tell you why it happened. So, yeah, it's great to report that, Sedona is closing some of the BLM. Some of that's changing. But why? Why did they do it? And we're going to tell you why. First of all, here's the news. 525, that is a little south of Sedona, Arizona, off of 89A, where it's been free for a long time. The National Forest announced that they are closing most of the campsites. And they're going to have specific campgrounds or specific sites that you are going to be allowed to boondock back there. For right now, you do not need to make a reservation, but that's going to change. They are limiting it to 200 sites or 200 recreational vehicles. Okay, so what is going to be? You're going to have one site that's going to be big enough to maybe have 3 or 4 rigs on there. That's 4 rigs. So you're going to have 200 of those that you're going to be able to choose from. Eventually, it's going to be free. It's going to remain free. However, moving forward, what the other YouTube channel missed, and what I'm going to tell you, is that that's going to go on a reservation system. And so it's going to be a National Forest reserve spot. You're going to have a big area. You're going to have slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's not going to be particular slots. It's just going to be your 5 rigs. That's the limit. There's probably going to be signs up there saying 5 rig limit, 5 RV limit. And so on this reservation, you're going to be able to see that you're going to be able to get a spot or not get a spot. But they're closing a bunch of them. There's only going to be 200 slots available. And they also have, as reported, a National Forest app. Now, we knew about this app coming last year. We've already known about this. And on some of these free boondocking sites and free Facebook groups, boondocking and van life and all this stuff, I've warned people that they're going to enforce the 14-day in a big way. And everyone keeps telling me, no, I've been there for months. They've never come out me. They've never, well, they have an app, and they are able to scan your license plate in and put it into a National Forest database, and they're going to be able to track your movement. So why is that important in the Coconino National Forest? Because the Coconino National Forest strictly tells you, you cannot move from spot to spot to spot every 14 days. That's not going to happen anymore. You're allowed to be there for 14 days, and after 14 days, you have to leave the Coconino National Forest for 30 days. Then you can come back, and you can get another 14 days. It's always been that way. They've never had the technology to really enforce it, but they're enforcing it now. So, Sedona, 525, 525C, all that area back there that everyone has gone boondocking for years, that is about to be managed. And so the free is not going to be, well, it's still going to be free, but it's going to be managed. So that's the bad news for some of the van lifers and RVers that think they're going to go back there and spend 2 months back there. Those days are gone. They're not going to happen anymore. Now, why did they do it? Why? Well, the problem is that you've got 2 heavy tourist towns right next to each other. Sedona, that has ran out of room to develop, and you've got Cottonwood, who is exponentially growing. Now, I was coming into Cottonwood 25 years ago. There was nothing out here. But now it's exponentially growing. And what do you have in Sedona and Cottonwood that everybody wants to do? And that's ATV, off-road, 4-wheel. That's a big business in both of these towns, and that's what's really drawing in the tourists. Sedona has thousands of these ATVs that you can rent. Cottonwood, they just built a new rental area where you can rent theirs. The problem with that is that that's creating a lot of dust. And the National Forest is getting pressure by 3 entities. They're getting pressure from Sedona, Tourist, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Visitor and Tourist Bureau. Cottonwood, they're getting pressure because Cottonwood's running out of space to develop also. But they're getting pressure from the ranchers. Now, ranchers have been in that area. Anybody who's been back there, anybody who's done any, boondocking back there knows that you see cows. And you see bull steer sometimes. And you see baby cows. Those ranchers over 100 years ago, they still have grazing rights. So there's 2 things you got to know about that area. One, that's still grazing right ranch land. That farmers have grazing rights to let their cattle roam free and graze. The other thing is that there are still claims out there, mineral claims, that people own. Specifically, there's a big one. There's about 40 acres of mineral right claim that goes right in between where everybody boondocks and camps. So you've got some issues going on, and one of the issues that the ranchers are saying is that we are tired. It's one thing for the ATVs, but our cattle cannot graze anymore because of the dust factor. The dust is getting on all the greenery, all the vegetation, and cows, they're getting this grit, and it's ruining their teeth, and they can't graze. And so that's a huge, huge problem. The other part of it is that used to be an elk preserve, and the elk have left. They got out of town. That's another reason why Department of Wildlife, Fish and Wildlife want the elk to come back, and so they've been doing forest management out there trying to get the elk to come back into that area. There's a lot of pressure out there. You got Cottonwood, you got Sedona, you got the ranchers, you got a lot of wildlife advocacy out there. Not to mention, we have a new BLM director in the administration that doesn't want anybody out there on BLM land. So it's changing. That is why that specific area was always under so much pressure to change. That they've wanted to kick everybody out 10 years ago. This is not new. It's just coming to a head now because of the pandemic that hit. They were able to do traffic impact studies in that area, in the Sedona area, in the Cottonwood area. It would have taken them years to do this traffic impact study to see what's going to happen 10 years from now. What's going to happen? Well, they got all that information in 2 years, because that's how many people came out of Phoenix, came out of California, came out of the woodwork to come out to Sedona and Cottonwood and boondock out here. And so they got an idea of the traffic impact study that's going to happen. That BLM land and the Coconino National Forest, as far as them changing to close campgrounds and to manage it and not to let boondocking as much back there, that's been on the table for a long time. What happened was that they were able to do that impact study because of the pandemic, where they wouldn't have been able to have that impact study without the pandemic. That's why it's happening now. And quite frankly, they're tired of the garbage back there. People leave a lot of trash. So anyway, that's the Sedona story. 525. They're going to close a bunch of those areas out. They're going to keep it in one. They're going to keep it in specific areas. You're not going to be able to go wherever you want anymore. You're not going to be driving all the way down there. They're going to herd you like cattle, and they're going to put you where they can manage you, and they are going to enforce that 14-day. That is for sure. So, and that kind of leads me up to what I want to talk about on the reservation front. For people that want to go to your national parks in 2022, I would really make sure you are doing your research now. Not in the summer, now. Because they're changing the reservation, how you reserve. I know for sure that Yellowstone National Park, all their first come, first serve sites are going away. And they're going to a reservation type system. I would imagine most of the other national parks are going to follow the suit. Now, why are they doing that? What's with, number one, not only are they just being overwhelmed, but here's the real reason why they're going to a reservation system. And I think this is going to be solved with technology. I'm hoping someone builds an app for this. I've seen some apps that are trying to do this, but the national park system needs to do this. This is a federal national park system solution to the problem. Most first come reserve sites are going away for one reason only, and that's cancellation and no shows. The system is not set up to propagate no shows at the last minute and then put it back in the database for people to hawk a site for no-show. For example, if I reserved, in Pebble Creek, which is first come first serve, in Yellowstone, and then they're like, we're going to go, and the morning comes when we're supposed to drive up to that campsite, and I say, you know what, screw it, we're not going to go. Well, that screws up the whole system. That no-show doesn't get reported until almost in the afternoon. So there's a huge disconnect between what the camp hosts report and the database into your reservation system like reservation.gov. So that's one of the things, they can't keep up with it. The no-shows are so big and so wild that they cannot keep up with people not showing up for the reservation. So that's one of the reasons they're doing it. 2022, and you're going to hear this before anybody else, is it's going to be about management. It's going to be about managing the traffic and how to best herd the traffic to where they want to go for the budget they have and for the resources they can utilize. It's all going to be about management. They've changed the backcountry permit. If you're a backpacker, that's all changed. First come, first serve is going away. Free boondocking, it's probably going to go away. It's probably going to be a managed system. I would probably imagine that all BLM land, still free, but you're going to have to make a reservation to boondock in that spot. They want to know who you are. They want to know where you're coming from, and they're definitely going to know how long you're going to be there. Okay, so I want to get to this too. So speaking of Yellowstone, we are going to be in Yellowstone National Park for the summertime. Ariane is the general manager for the Yellowstone Trading Post. If you have a small rig or a van, couples preferred, doesn't make any difference. And if you're looking for a summer job through June through October, then please let us know, because she's going to be in the process of hiring for the summer very shortly. And so there is room possible for small RVs and vans to have free hookups. It's water, electric, and dump. So we're still working out the logistics on that. We were there last year. That's how Ariane got the general manager's job. We were there. So we had 30 amp, free water, free dump. Now I'm going to go back when I'm there before June. I'm going to fix some of that stuff so it's easier, because we had to have like 100-foot hose to get the water. So I'm going to fix that and make it a much more friendly space. And also, what you need to know is that if you're going to come out there and you're going to apply and you're interested, you got to be there from June through October 1st. You have to be. There is going to be a bonus in that income that you're going to get if you stay through the whole thing. And then we're going to announce all that when it comes detailed. But I'm just letting you know now that this is a good time. Anything you want to do in the summer, and you better start planning it now. This is one of those things. And so if you're interested, let us know, and we can help you with that. So we're there. It's a great place. It's a fun place in the summertime for sure. And you're 4 miles from the northeast entrance of Yellowstone, and you're only I'd say 20 minutes from Lamar Valley, that's Wildlife Central in Yellowstone National Park. It's an absolutely beautiful area. So please let us know if you're interested. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. Lots going on in the week. You want to make sure you want to watch our video on our YouTube channel about the van. Big news with the van. It's always fun on the road, right? And then if you can catch this audio podcast again on any of your favorite podcatchers, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on iHeartRadio. You can catch it on iHeartRadio also and listen to it as you're driving to Yellowstone, perhaps. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate it. We'll be back here 8 o'clock Sunday night Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you on the road. See you guys later. Bye.